Hello, welcome to another Kind of Good Movies. Today we're gonna do a Saw ranking review kind of movie. So I will kind of show y'all more in depth of the things. This does include Spiral, whether you think it should be included with the Saws or not. I don't know. It's still tied in with the Saws. So yeah. I just finished last night watching Spiral. So I guess we'll just go in order. I do have this kind of collector's edition. It comes with all the saws in it. Now, if you would have told me a few years back that I would have seen all the saws and all the Texas chainsaws, I would have told you you're crazy. I wasn't a big horror fan for a while. There was one genre of movies that I did not watch and would not watch. So, to watch the Saws and watch all of them. So, I'm fixing to finish Alien. Then we'll do kind of an Alien review. And then we're gonna go probably into either Friday or Halloween. So, we still have Texas Chainsaw to do eventually. I'm still waiting for one more of the DVDs to be delivered. And then I will be able to do a Texas Chainsaw review. So, without any further ado, let's get started. We're just gonna start with Saw 1. Saw 1, classic. I will say it was. I will say as it went on, Saw 1 was more jumpy out of all of them, except for Spiral, of course. But let's say the original 8 Saws, they were it was the jumpiest. The later they went on, up until Spiral, they got more gory and less jump scary. So, yeah. But Saw 1, classic. Yeah, not much I can say past that. Just classic, just classic movie. There wasn't much Tobin Bell, which I am a big Tobin Bell fan. I love him in the Saws. But I think Adam and Dr. Gordon are amazing, and really, I think they carried the whole thing, which I know shows a lot of them, and I think that they did amazing. So, Saw 1, classic movie. I give it a 9 out of 10 rating. I really do love it. Saw 2. I do want to say spoiler warning if you haven't seen Saws. Spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen them and want to watch them, then come back to this video. The Saw 1 is just basically about these two guys, Adam and Dr. Gordon, in a bathroom, and that's kind of it. Saw 2 is you're kind of following. It's kind of weird. It shows you like a game being played whilst whilst kind of like an interview's going on with whenever the cops find Jigsaw, and yeah. So, sorry if you hear anything in the background. But yeah, it's just it's just a it's just a Saw. I mean, it's just you're watching the game. It kind of plays with your mind. I liked how they showed more Tobin Bell in this one, and the twist at the end was really good with the detective's son actually being in the safe, Eric Matthews, and he said, "Your son is in a safe place. If you talk to me long enough, you'll get him," which he was in a safe. So funny. I give it a. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I do want to say before I forget, I do have some reviews for next Wednesday, and the only reason why I didn't do them today is because I don't have a few of the DVDs, so I had to get them to watch them. So be watching for the review on the special request. I have a special request for 3 movies, and so I will shout y'all out whenever I go to review them, and I'll review them. So be looking for, if you gave me a special review in the comments, just be looking out for Wednesday. And if y'all are watching this and have a review of a movie you want me to review, I do them every Wednesday. I usually don't do them on Saturdays like I did today. I tried to do a tier list, but I couldn't get to work out, so this is kind of a wish version of that. So you're just kind of get to stare at Saw while I talk about it for a few minutes, and then I'll switch to Spiral. Saw 3, I wasn't a big fan. I feel like they really drug on the Jeff part. And the brain surgery was very gruesome to watch, but in this you see Amanda and you start really hating Amanda, but later on you find out why Amanda did what she did. But yeah, I really didn't like Jeff in this, and yeah, that's what kind of made it slow. So, and you learn to hate Amanda in this because she makes a lot of unbeatable traps. So yeah, that's all I can say is I didn't like Jeff. 3 was probably my least favorite out of all of them. So I give it I could give it a 10 out of 10, but I think now I would have given it an 8. Now that I kind of said what I said, because I didn't much like Jeff. So I felt like it was too drug on, and Jeff moved at the speed of like a snail. So yeah, on to Saw 4. I'm trying to get through this because I know that there's 9 movies, and I usually only talk about usually 6. So I want this to be like a 30-minute episode of me just talking about Saws, staring at this Billy the doll. But Saw 4, you kind of learn a little bit more about why Jigsaw kind of became Jigsaw, and yeah, and you meet Hoffman, which eventually becomes Jigsaw's apprentice, I should say, and yeah, trying to remember what Saw 4 is kind of about. I know this is when Riggs plays his game, so I think that's this is when Rig plays his game, and he goes and because he wants to save everybody, and Saw's trying to teach him not to save everybody, and so he kind of goes through there and teaches him not to save everybody. So that's kind of it. Just you're following Rig. So yeah. I feel like this video is bad. I apologize. I kind of had something else planned and didn't work out. So sorry about that. I think I live at the Daytona 500 in front of my house. Saw 5. This is kind of when, like, because in Saw 3 is when Jigsaw dies, and then Saw 4 is kind of showing back to Saw 3, and Saw 5 is as well. This is when really Hoffman becomes Saw and kills Agent Strom, and you're just kind of following Hoffman's games. And I didn't mind Hoffman, but I also hated him. I liked Jigsaw, but did not like Hoffman. So, but yeah, I give it 8 out of 10. This one was kind of a slower of the Saws. So yeah. Saw 6. If I had to give them all, they were all Saw in general amazing. I love Saw. If you haven't seen Saw and you're which I don't know if you like horror movies. I don't know why you wouldn't have. So, yeah, Saw 6. I know it was one of my more favorite Saws. This is whenever the guy that didn't give John Kramer his coverage. This is kind of his game. And I really did like this one. I think this was one of my more favorite movies of Saw, just because of the games. Yeah. So that's all I can say. This was one of my more favorite Saws. On to Saw 7, which is also the final chapter. I think, isn't it? Yeah, Saw is the final chapter, or 3D. Because some places say final chapter, some places say 3D. Some say Saw 7. But Saw 3D, now, I'm going to say very gruesome Saw, not that interesting. I liked it, don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. I love this one. I love them all. I just feel like this one, I didn't like the whole guy acting like he was a Saw survivor and he had to play the games. Which it was cool to see Jigsaw meeting in his book signing and stuff. And you kind of could see when you met him, but it just I didn't like him as a character. He was very annoying. So yeah. Then Jigsaw, my bad, was the 8th one. Jigsaw was good, but I feel like they put too much of a new, like with the Saws, they had a grimy, nasty feeling, like, like old, I like the old. If you're gonna keep one camera style for the first 7, you should keep it for the 8th. And I just feel like they kind of missed that. Not that this is bad anyway. I love the twist and everything in it. I wasn't a big fan of kind of the ending about how the doctor was the new Jigsaw. That was kind of dumb and everything, but the traps were good, and the traps were good. And I think that's what Saw is mainly about, is the traps. So, yeah. That's why I think Saw was kind of, I think that's what Saws are kind of mainly about. And, yeah. I might end up turning this into a mini podcast about Saws. I don't know. I just might say a Saw podcast review, because I'm kind of saying y'all are sitting here looking at Billy, and I'm just talking to y'all while I'm looking at kind of stuff to remember what it's been about, because it's been a few movies in between since I've watched it. But the trap's really good in this one. So, yeah. That was the last one for that one. Then the next one we have is Spiral, the one with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. I know some people are going to have mixed feelings about Spiral. Now, this one should be a little bit newer in my mind. I just watched this last night. Spiral, I'm glad they didn't give it the Saw name and say Saw something, Saw this. I think calling it Spiral from the Book of Saw was good, even though Spiral is talking about the spiral. But I'm glad they didn't say Saw. Saw, let's say, that would have been Saw. This would have been Saw 10. I'm glad they didn't call it Saw 10. I think I loved Chris Rock's comedy. It was very funny. Samuel L. Jackson, and the few scenes he was actually in there was good, and it had a few jump scares that weren't terrible, and the gore stuff was, the traps for some of them were kind of the finger trap, not that interesting, but the one pouring the oil on her face, the actress from Riverdale, Samuel Jackson's trap. The tongue trap was kind of dumb to me. One that, wow, especially after watching all the other Saws. Trying to think of some of the other traps that were. Yeah, I don't know. The bottle shooting into his back was kind of dumb. That was kind of a dumb trap. Which I didn't feel like that one was an actual Saw because the guy that was hanging there didn't have a chance. It was more about Chris Rock saving him than it was him. So I was kind of dumb, but yeah, I don't know. There was one more. I want to say there's one more, but it is. If there's one more, it's skipping my mind. So, but same kind of as Red Saws, stuff starts happening, and then they say, oh, the guy was skinned alive. Same thing is kind of like all the other ones. They always say, well, Saw's dead. How could there be another Saw? And it's kind of the same as the other ones. But don't get me wrong, good movie. Chris Rock was amazing. And yeah. There was a few parts that were kind of dumb to me, but otherwise, good movie. If you haven't seen Spiral, because you're afraid it's not going to be that interesting, it's not bad. It's not bad at all for a kind of a, let's say, tied shoelace to Saw, not the actual shoe. So, but still an interesting Saw nonetheless. So that's going to do it for today. I'm sorry this is kind of a bad video or rushed video. What I had planned didn't really work out how I wanted it to, so this was kind of thrown together last minute because I didn't want this video to be, I don't want to be here all afternoon trying to figure out. So again, if you want to leave a request for anything for me to watch in here, whether you see it or not, if I don't have it, I will get it and I will review it. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera trying to get it back centered. Let me fix the camera 1 second. Alright, hopefully that's back to center. But as I was saying, if you don't see it in my collection here, recommend it. If I don't have it, I will get it and watch it. If I do have it, I'll watch it and review it. Reviews are Wednesday. This was kind of a, like I said, thrown together video. Yeah, my Instagram and Twitter are always in the description where I post what I when I upload at Kinda Good Movies on both Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, I think that is it for today. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It's much appreciated. Last time we were at 160, which is amazing. I was going to do a 150 subscriber special, but I really haven't decided what that is. So I might just end up waiting until 200 and kind of do a 200 video. So I appreciate all the support, and I will hopefully have a better video for y'all on Monday. So I will see y'all. Oh, and I will say, if you do want me to kind of do a trap rating, I will try to figure it out and do a trap rating for all the Saws. So if that's wanted, leave in the comments, and if it is, I'll do it. If not, move on. But be looking for Texas Chainsaw hopefully next week. I'm waiting on Texas Chainsaw 2, and whenever that's delivered. So I've already bought it. It's just waiting for it to be delivered. So yeah. So be looking for Texas Chainsaw's review, and I will see y'all next week.